find the definite integral from -1 to 0 of t times 2t squared minus 3 to the 5th power dt. All right, so because it's a definite integral, right, we see the limits of integration, which means, right, we're finding the area beneath the curve, right, beneath the curve above the x-axis for this integral right here. All right, so obviously the first thing is we need to actually find what this integral is. We're going to use u substitution in this case, right? If we let u equal 2t squared minus 3, then du is equal to 4t dt. Okay, let's take a look here, right? Okay, here's my u, right? That's what I'm going to substitute in for u. That's good. And if you look here, there's a t dt, which is good, right? That's t dt. So how do we deal with this 4, though, right? Well, we can just divide that over. So du over 4 is equal to t dt. So what happens to this integral? We're going to have u to the 5th, and then we're going to have this du, and then this 4, right? We can call it 1/4. Okay, 1/4 du. Okay. And do we put a -1 here? Is it from -1 to 0? Right, and that's the key here, right? It's not. Because those were the limits of integration when the integral was in terms of t, but we've converted this, right, into an integral in terms of u. So we have to change these using this equation right here, right, because u is equal to 2t squared minus 3. So what happens when t is equal to -1? Right, when t is equal to -1, apply -1 in here, and what do we get? U is equal to, actually the same, -1, right? So that means this limit is -1 here. And then we want to say, wait a minute, what happens when t is equal to 0, right? When t is equal to 0, plug the 0 in here, u is equal to -3. So that means that this limit of integration should be -3. So we have successfully converted from an integral in terms of t to an integral in terms of u. Well, I know that I should switch this around, right? I'll bring out the 1/4, make it negative. I'll switch the limits of integration from -3 to 1, and then I'll get u to the 5th du, right? And that one we should be able to do pretty easily, right? Because it's just a u to the 5th power. So what happens when we take that integral? Well, we get the -1/4, we get u to the 6 over 6, and we want to evaluate that from -3 up till -1, okay? So, a couple of ways we can do this, right? This is we'll bring out the 6 again, right? So you get -1 over 24. And then what happens? We get 1 or -1 to the 6th power minus, right, -3 to the 6th power. Okay, so we get -1 over 24. Here, what do we end up with? We end up with 1 minus, and this 3 to the 6th power is 729, I believe, right? So that becomes what? 1 minus 729 is -728 over -24. So those do cancel out. Okay? And then we can reduce this. 8 goes into 728 91 times. And then 8 goes into 24 3 times. And there we go. This is our final answer.